I've got something for you. The new parts have been fitted to the car. The simulation numbers are good, so look forward to your feedback. Check out the details.
Thanks, man. Okay, so we have the new crankshaft for here in Canada. It's going to give us 8 brake horsepower, apparently. Crankshaft? I suppose so. That's what it says. Welcome back, everybody, to the Sauber career mode. Sort of a pretty awful race last time out in Monaco. It was good fun while it lasted, but obviously it ended very prematurely thanks to that beautiful safety car rage which we had. So we have that new crankshaft that's going to basically keep us ahead of Haas and Renault, it seems like. Toro Rosso really developing hard, and McLaren, Honda and the Force India are right up there as well. Up at the top, Ferrari might be a bit closer to Mercedes. I don't think so. They're still quite a way ahead. So it's not giving us the biggest boost in the world, but I think it should put us comfortably on the back end of the midfield now, which is good. But let's go into practice 1, see how we get on, see how many points we can earn, and then we'll be back here to see what we can do about it.
That's fantastic. You obviously have a really good understanding of this circuit.
Well, that's a turn up for the books. Purple on the first lap out in practice 1. Feeling good about this weekend. Canada is one of my all-time favourite tracks. Both to watch the actual Grand Prix and to drive around virtually. And that's showing a good sign already.
That's the end of the program. Box this lap so we can analyse the data. Box this lap.
Well, purple rum. First time out for tyre management as well. Pace looking good for this track. Can't really state it enough, but it is one of my favourite tracks, so not completely surprised. One of the things I noticed on the tyre management here, you can be very cautious on the corners because you gain a lot of time back on the main straight. If you just put the fuel up back to rich, I was gaining sometimes half a second. One of the laps I was so cautious that I was about a second down with sort of just coming out of this corner, and I just put the fuel up to maximum, attacked the corners and the final chicane a little bit more than normal. I gained over a second back against the time, so see, it's very difficult to code a target time for everybody on the same difficulty at every track. So of course some you're going to find it easier than others, and enjoying this track as I do, I'm not particularly surprised that I've found this so easy so far, the R&D. Oh, that was a dreadful turn 1. We need a tenth more for that purple time. Don't think we're going to get it this run. Okay. So how about counting chickens and stuff? Bit surprised. First thing to note is, just like the time management, we're gaining a bunch of time down the straights. Almost sometimes half a second. Down the back straight, through the last chicane and onto the pit straight. Now, I'm not sure why this is. It could be because we've gone for a pretty slippery setup. As I've mentioned before, I only really go for the setups that are suggested. I don't go for the custom setups on the Steam Workshop or anything. Purely because I think it's a bit more realistic and you can get some of those setups that just completely put you above where you should be because they're so good, which is credit to the people that make them, but a little bit unrealistic when you're doing a 10-year career. Or the other thing could be that engine upgrade. We could have made completely the right decision in going for that for here in Baku, if that's what's giving us this huge boost down the straights compared to what they think we should be doing. So a whole bunch of points then from practice 1, the biggest we have ever seen from a single practice session, I'm sure of that. Puts us up to 315. We're going to wait till the end of qualifying to see if we've got enough to do anything decent. If not, we will hold it off till Baku to make a major upgrade. In the interest of fairness, I think I'm going to try the balance setup for this qualifying run and just see what kind of difference it makes through the corners, and see if we still gain as much time down the straights. Should be able to make us work out what we're getting the major advantage for down the straight, whether it is the engine upgrade or the setup. So we're going to go out and do qualifying pace with the balance setup and see what happens.
Great work. We hit our secondary target time. Let's try and repeat that in qualifying. Practice program over.
Well, so it's purple,
Return to the garage pronto.
and one thing's proven is that as we've got more people going out in the ultra softs, it'll be interesting to see our time then. It's definitely the engine upgrade, because even with a balanced setup we were still gaining sometimes half a second down the two straights, which is ridiculous. One thing though, the car feels worse around the corners on a balanced setup, so I'm definitely going to be going back to the slightly more aggressive setup. We're losing so much time through the corners on either setup. A few scruffy corners and we can be up to a second down getting to this kind of point around the track. It's a bit of a worry really. I don't want all our speed to have to be literally from here to the finish line. It's not much use really. So we end up in the top 10 for the first time I think in a practice session where people run the same tyres. Session did end wet. I haven't looked at the weather yet for the rest of the weekend, stupidly. It's a bit of a worry. It's Canada after all. There are a couple of a lot of cars behind us that haven't actually run the ultra softs. Quite a few that probably would go ahead of us. So it's not as promising as first seen. We're 3 tenths ahead of our teammate. What's for sure is the car is definitely moving forward. And this weekend I'm finally able to use that speed, which is good. So qualifying should be a good one. So on we go, and I'll see you in there. Well, I think I mucked up the last corner a bit there. It's so easy to be a bit cheaty with that last corner. I think I gained far more time than I should have done, really. It's put us P3, but we don't really deserve to be there, I think. 13.7, I mean, it's at least half a second in that final corner. I mean, to be honest, it was a good lap. The rest of it felt good. Kept control of the car a lot better through the corners than I had through practice, but I feel a bit cheaty, to be honest. I'm sure I would have left it in. That last corner was just a bit too aggressive and a bit corner cuttery. I'll try not to do that in Q2 because it distorts it a bit, really. You've got to be aggressive there, but you can't just cut the corner. Okay, so we're through in Q1. I don't feel particularly proud of it, to be honest. It was a I think we probably would have ended up a mid to low 14 if we hadn't have had that little cheatsy doodle. So I think we would have been through. I don't see a problem there, but I think our time flatters us. That being said, Jenson Button's right up there with a 13.7. And Toro Rosso of Carlos Sainz not far behind. So it's not out of the question we could maybe get a low 13 normally. So we'll go through to Q2 and see what we can do anyway. Oh no. It's a little bit wet. Good, right. I've got a feeling it's Canada, so it's probably gonna rain harder and harder as we go. So we really want to be out on track as soon as possible and getting those laps in. Oh, we've gone faster than Kvyat. Can't be too disappointed, I suppose. Grosjean's also gone behind us, despite that muck-up. Let's keep our concentration for lap 2 then. But we don't go horribly wide, so we have gained some time back. Gained a bunch of time through there, although we lost it on the exit. We're just throwing... All the time's disappeared now. Wow. We got into the wall, we lost a bit of front wing. We still go quicker, but we're going to have to box to get a new front wing now. So after the repairs, we've got 7 minutes to go. We are currently P3. Still only the Ferraris ahead of us. So I'm thinking about going out with sort of 4 or 5 minutes of the session left.
So far, our fastest lap is a 1:25.1.
Jeff, why are you bothering? Seriously. I'm sitting in a garage with a screen in front of me that gives me the times. Don't tell me, please. Goodness sake. Yeah, we're looking about as competitive as we were in Q1, surprisingly. Oh, yeah. It's getting pretty slippery now. Not sure we're going to be able to improve, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. Providing no one else can improve either. Ooh, a little bit sideways out of there. Oh, I knew that was going to happen. I tried to back off.
Let me know you're alright.
Oh, dear. Oh no, I didn't even watch the replay. I was so consigned to that happening because I knew it had happened. I thought, let's try and take some more speed down here. Maybe half throttle. Nope. Bad idea. By the time I tried to back out, it was far too late. Okay. This will be a test. I don't know what happens then. If we go out... If we get through, I guess we'll find out. So we did get through, P10. Through to Q3 for the first time this year. But we're actually behind Sainz, so I guess because we've retired, we can't take part in Q3. What a shame. Great qualifying result. Right up there with the top of the midfield. Unfortunately, I don't think we're going to be able to take part in Q3. I guess we'll find out. No, it's going to put me back to the motorhome, isn't it? Oh, so we've had a cracking qualifying. We're going to be starting P10 for the Canadian Grand Prix. But unfortunately, we didn't actually get to take part in our first Q3 because we went careering off into the barriers. Haryanto that first sector we've struggled all weekend. But clean sweep everywhere else, so we move a good distance ahead of him. So the only thing left then is R&D before the race. Now I did say we were going to stick to major upgrades. So the most useful ones are going to be monkey seat engine cover or cylinder head. We obviously do have enough points for the base fuel efficiency or drag streamlined suspension arms. I think we continue our trend of going for major upgrades. I think it's a good way to go. Because I mean, if we go for the streamlined suspension arms, it'll draw us almost level with Force India, but they're just going to pull away at some point. If we go for something big like the chassis weight or the engine block, cylinder head, sorry, then we have a chance of moving ahead no matter what they do with their upgrades. So we're going to save them. We're going to save them till the next race out in Baku.
Favourite for fans and drivers alike then here in Canada. We're used to seeing the unexpected happen here, and with me today to enjoy it all is Anthony Davidson, a man who knows firsthand the surprises that can pop up in this race.
I do indeed. I had a good chance at some points here in 2007, but unfortunately it wasn't meant to be. My old colleague Takuma Sato, though, he managed to finish 6th, so the team took home 3 valuable points, and that was a big boost to everyone at the time. I'm not sure I can think of anywhere else that so consistently provides the kind of late race excitement we get here. Obviously, towards the end of the Grand Prix, the brakes are getting worn, maybe the weather situation has changed, so there's a lot to keep fighting for all the way up to that final corner.
If we keep up this level of performance, I think you'll be promoted to #1 driver. So let's make sure we get a good result today.
We're almost ready to go then, and this is what the starting grid looks like for today's race. Lewis Hamilton lines up on pole position, and starting alongside in P2 is Sebastian Vettel. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Rosberg, Verstappen, Kimi Raikkonen and Sainz, Ricciardo, Perez, Kvyat and the Sauber, Alonso, Button, Valtteri Bottas and Grosjean, Haryanto, Gutierrez, Nico Hulkenberg and Felipe Massa, Nasser and Wehrlein, Kevin Magnussen and Jolyon Palmer rounds off the grid. And with lights out just moments away, it's time to go down to the track.
Okay, so we are on the grid for the Canadian Grand Prix. Quick look at strategy then. It looks like it's going to be dry for the entire race, which is good. This is definitely one of the tracks where alternate strategies can work out, because if you've got a quick car out of the low traction zone of the hairpin and good straight line speed, you can get the overtaking done needed to make it work. The 2-stop strategy is ultra soft, soft, and for the 1-stop it's going to be super soft, soft. I'm honestly a bit torn, because this isn't really a strategy you can decide on the fly like we normally do, because it's a completely different starting tyre. If you start on the super softs, there's no real way you can do a 2-stop strategy and make it work. To do a 2-stop, you've got to start on those ultra softs, which look like having around about a 9-lap stint length, whereas super softs 15. So they expect. Those super softs are going to be very worn when we do get there. I don't know that we have. I guess we do have 2 sets of ultra softs, because we only used 1 in Q1 and then it was wet for Q2. So I guess we do have 2 sets. I think we're going to risk it today. Even with the high starting position, I want to be able to race hard. And what worries me is that little tyre life line there for the super softs, where they're going to be about 70-75% worn when we stop for the softs. There is always the option of taking the ultra softs a bit longer and doing the 3rd stint on the super softs as well, so Yeah, I think 2 stops gives us the fastest tyre to start the race on. So that's what we're going to do. Here we go then. Canadian Grand Prix is away. Made a much better start than Kvyat. We've made that jump we needed to. Need to be clever into turn 1 here. Careful is the word. Someone on the inside, can't see who. It's the McLaren of Fernando Alonso. We're clear of him. Let's see if we can do Ricciardo. Nope. Oh, there's a big hold up here. We're going to brave it round the outside of Ricciardo. Everybody's on softs. This is a bit worrying. We've made a great start on up to P7. Oh! I reckon well out of shape, which slowed Sainz up, and we're up to 5th. Unbelievable. What a start. I think it's pretty obvious that most people are going to be one-stopping here. Look at this, we're just cruising around the outside of Verstappen. A little bit aggressive through the final corner there, but got a feeling we're going to have to get our shift on. Oh, too deep there. Try and recover it. I've got a feeling we're going to need to do a lot of overtaking today. It's not going to be the easiest car to pass. Right, what do we need to keep track of? Tyres, really? Oh god, we're going to have a run at a Mercedes here. We're going to sweep past him. A lot of debris from the previous incident on the lap before. So what I think this race is going to look like is where we come back out. We're then going to be racing on ultra softs until we pit for the softs around the same time everybody else does, and then we will be on level ground. So obviously we should be able to make up ground when we put our second set of ultra softs on, but we want to get ahead of as many cars as possible before that happens to minimise the amount of overtaking we've got to do. Thanks, Jeff. The alternate is to put a set of softs on second and then end the race on the quicker ultra soft. Hang on a second. We're catching Vettel. This was really not expected. We're going to get a run on him into turn 1. Let's take the inside line. Vettel thought about defending, thought better of it. Is he still upper inside? He is. I've just edged him out. Oh my god, we're in second place. And for all intents and purposes, we are not. We're in about 10th at the moment. To be honest, any position forward from a point is going to be a bonus today, so we may as well try and get the maximum life out of these tyres. Alright, we're going to turn the engine down now. Save that as emergency fuel. Vettel's hit us, for goodness sake. If you're going to go past Seb, just go. I do not need to run into you today. One stop is going to be stopping between 15 and 20. So it's going to be all about the position we can get to on the ultra softs, and if we get past cars that are going to be much faster on us when we're on the same tyre, we need to try and pull a gap. So remember to take it easy on the pit lane. We don't want any mistakes now. was far too cautious, but I'd rather that than take a penalty. So I mean, that was the crucial stint there, really. Nailing that has given us the best chance possible. But this is just as crucial. First we'll see where we're going to come out. We get past Sainz. No, where's Alonso? Hulkenberg, we're past him. On a brand new set of the ultra soft tyres now. We need to repeat stint number 1 and get past as many cars as possible. The majority of the work's done, because even if we pitted now in 10 laps time in this position, we'd be on. Wasn't expecting to catch Sainz that quickly. That's why the monologue sort of stopped there. Let's get past this tricky hairpin. Right, so the situation now is, even if we pit, if we stay in this position for 10 laps, we're going to be on the soft tyre for the rest of the race with probably the rest of the field. I'm pretty confident we can race where we are. Every position we can gain whilst we're on the ultra softs is a bonus. But I'm going to look at Alonso, we may as well do it in the DRS. Although backing off has put us in a bad position, but he is in a McLaren Honda. Here comes the DRS now. Easy peasy. Pull back in. Little snap oversteer. What's going on up here? Looks like Magnussen's on much faster tyres here, because he's trying to get past these guys by the look of it. Hopefully he's going to get out of our way pretty sharpish. Oh, he does. Not brilliantly there, though. Kevin. Oh, Perez has got DRS as well. That's going to make this difficult. Not worth it. Get a good exit. Have a second stab. To back out of it a little bit there. Can we get him on the brakes? To go over the curb a little bit around the outside is going to be difficult. Onto the marbles. We are through. Good move. Yeah, locking up a little bit there when he went into him. Should get him on DRS this time. Go to the inside. Easy move. Yeah, it's coming back at us now. This is not what we wanted. I'm going to bail early, I think. One lap early and put the softs on. At least we'll get a little jump. Sauber is so slow at pit stops. I hope that increases as we upgrade the car. I mean, 2.9 is not bad, but I've seen teams do it in close to 2 on this game. So, a couple laps down the road. Looks like we've got the beating of Alonso. I don't think we've quite got the pace to catch Perez. The fly in the ointment for the rest of the race is going to be where Kvyat comes out. He still hasn't pitted. As he was on the softs, I presume he's going to one stop onto the super softs. I think he might just come in. He has. Oh, he's right there. Oh boy. Wasn't planning for that. Glad he got out the way. Sticks to the outside. Make sure he's only got one way to go. He's going for it. he's done it. Might have a chance to get back at him, although he's going to open that DRS. Up to P7. Someone else has pitted. So we're a bit higher than I thought we'd be. And these are long old races with a wheel. It's obviously absolutely nothing like driving even a sort of Renault Clio round a track for this many laps. But it's still pretty taxing. Oh, virtual safety car is out. Gutierrez was out, and next thing we know it's a virtual safety car. We need to make sure here we make the use of the Delta. Oh, it's ended. I think we lost a little bit. Could have been worse. There's the great Jensen Button, epitomised in 2011. Never give up. Science is definitely actually still coming. We're really losing time now. I think he's going to get us here. Yeah, I think he's going to take us in DRS here. Not really much point in fighting it. Yeah, there he goes. Might try and get him back. We've got a bit of fuel. Bottas struggling and dicing with Magnussen up there. No, couldn't do anything about science. Bottas is definitely coming into sight though. But it's Verstappen who it is that got past Alonso. Okay, maybe we should be a little bit worried. We now need to turn the engine down desperately. Going to put it into lean because we need a better margin than that. Definitely stay till the end here in Canada. We're not done yet. Verstappen obviously had to make an extra stop and he's powering through the field now. Let's go back up to standard. I think he's going to have us though. Yeah, really not much we can do about that. Oh, instant ahead. Going on to the last lap of the race, we need to get opportunist here. Watch yourself, Palmer. I'm lapping you. Got a little bit of extra fuel. Now's the time to use it. Actually, no. Let's save it for the straight. Oh, we got a race on our hands all of a sudden here. So little rubber left though. Palmer, don't you dare. Don't even think about it. Oh, Palmer, what the hell are you doing? Unless something... Palmer, for fuck's sake. Oh. We're going to go across the line in P9. Oh, it's a great result. That was a seriously sketchy end to the race though. Riva Bene is pretty happy. So it's P9 in the end, 2 precious points. It was always going to be the case that some cars came back at us at the end of the race. Once you're on the same tyre compound as them, the faster cars eventually found their way through. It's pretty exciting stuff on the last couple of laps there though. Pretty good lap time. Super happy with P9, a couple of points. There's many a time in that race that it could have gone wrong. The start and the first stint was everything in that race really, on that strategy. Looking a bit further down the order then, Haryanto's 14th, Nasser 16th. Faster than both of them. So, a great weekend all in all. A good haul of resource points there. Which means we're going to get a big upgrade hopefully next time out in Baku. As for the rivalry, we win the rivalry, thrashing Haryanto. Hopefully we get a more relevant rival this time round. I think we may be promoted. I guess that'll be told to us next time out. I presume that's some kind of cutscene with the agent. So, thank you very much for watching this time around. Probably the most perfect weekend we've had so far. Really gaining the maximum out of the car. Not too many dramas in the race. Just extracted the maximum performance out of it. And they're the kind of races I would love to be having every race. Not wildly stupid positions forward. Let's be realistic. We're upgrading a Sauber. It's going to take a few seasons. Just having the pace to be where we are and finishing where we should do is probably more satisfying than anything in this game. Sounds strange. Everyone's like, oh no, we want to be winning, getting podiums and winning in the first season. No, not really. I just want to make progress with the car, and coming home in 9th after having a very good race, some great overtaking, very interesting first stint because we were so much quicker than everybody else, really just is our podium at the moment for Sauber. I'm really excited to go, well, not massively excited to go forward because it's Baku, which is a track I'm still not up to speed on. We're going to be using the practice sessions pretty heavily, I think, there. But anyway, if you want to leave any comments or enjoyed the video, leave a like. If you have any advice or want to let me know if you're enjoying the series. If you are watching each episode and haven't left a comment, please do. You know, it makes everything I do worth it. So let me know down below if you're enjoying the series, what your predictions are for the end of the series, how you think the car's gonna progress. And I'd love to hear from you. And if you want to keep up to date with when the next in the series is out, or check out some of the other F1 content on the channel, then you can hit that subscribe button as well. That'd be incredibly appreciated. So thank you as always for watching, and I'll see you again very soon in Baku. That should be interesting. Bye for now.
These battles have often been contained on single racetracks. Now, it's going global. The chosen chariot for this is the Red Bull 2016. Brilliant in the bends, but often hampered by its Renault engine. Lacking power on the...
Sorry? What do you mean? They make watches. Oh, okay.
Can they make up for the deficit on the straights with their Tag Heuer engine?
Sauber, a team that often I get confused as to whether they have overachieved or underachieved. A team of humble beginnings, founded by Peter Sauber in the 1970s.
This is built by Peter Sauber, Mercedes supplying the engines, the driver...
He would eventually work his way up the ladder to win back-to-back Le Mans races in 1988 and 1999, with the incredible Sauber Mercedes C9, a car that was relatively unchanged between the 2 years, such was its dominance. It was then that Peter Sauber decided to take a foray into Formula 1